Hello and welcome back to Opposite Void. I'm your host, Forgotten Void, and this week we are going over this new battle called Temporal Rift. Now, Temporal Rift is a new PvE mode. I will go over a show of gameplay of it in the next video, but for now we're going to go over the ships that are available. So the first ships that you get, I'm going to call them the Lettuce, the Stallone, and the Valkyrie. So the lettuce it's a Marceau hull, and it uses the French torpedo gimmick, where the further away it is, the more damage you do. So and the guns are okay at 7-second reload. They slap, but they're slow hitting, kind of like IJN guns. So this is a torpedo boat. For equipment, you don't really have anything special. You just have the standard defense system that reduces incoming damages, which is the only way to deal with missiles at the moment. You have repair party, and you have damage control. These are all set at 322 for base. I have a module that lets me have more, and I'll go over modules after done with ships. The Sorry, the next is not the Stallone. Stallone is an upgrade. Kronos Carrier, so Carrier of Time. Kronos Carrier is on based on the Austin. Their artillery guns are also an 8-second reload, but this is actually the gun focused version of the cruisers that are available. So this is guns, and then you have smoke and spotting aircraft. So the spotting aircraft actually gives you 45% to your main battery firing range to give you extra range. So this is very much a gunboat. So you're supposed to use the smoke, hide in your smoke, use your spotting aircraft, fire at things far away. So you don't really get shot at, but you can shoot back. Now, one thing about the smoke is it gives away your position. It isn't an Italian exhaust smoke, so it pretty much gives away your exact position. So the enemy bots will be shooting their missiles at you. Um, they know where you are. They see the smoke. And so they'll shoot missiles at your smoke. So if you don't want to be shot at by missiles, you don't use smoke. It's a trade-off there. Okay, last one. Valkyrie. Valkyrie, I actually believe should have been the unlocked one, not the go-to one. Because Valkyrie is a little bit weird to play. Valkyrie is based off of the German Panzerschleife line with your um, 305 main guns. So it is a battleship. It does have technically battleship main guns. The main guns are reload at a nice 21 seconds, so that is what you would expect for this caliber of guns. Secondaries are nothing special. Uh, the thing is, this one, it has a missile reserve, so you can actually, while the other two don't reload their missiles, the Valkyrie does reload missiles, so after getting a certain number of main battery hits, you get an extra 4 missiles. Now, it takes quite a few main battery hits. As you see, one shell is 2%, so you need 50 hits to get 4 more. And with 20 seconds and 9 barrels, it's not that much. So you only get a little bit more, but that puts you at 16 missiles easily on one life, possibly even more. And the missiles, these, unlike the others, the missiles here are 33,000 damage. If you look at Lettuce, missiles 16,000, Kronos Carrier, missiles 1350. They are not missile boats. The missiles are secondary. The In fact, Lettuce is a torpedo destroyer because uh, sh Without any upgrades, her missiles and torpedoes are both 20 kilometers, and with the upgrade, the torpedoes are now longer range than the missiles and do a lot more damage. So, lettuce, torpedo boat, you want to stay away, stay hidden, and use your torpedoes. They fire in wide triple launch or is single launch. So, I would go with single launch and make your own spreads. Kronos Carrier also gets torpedoes. She has narrow and wide launch torpedoes. They are deep water. They do a lot of damage, but only one set per side. I use them. Don't do use them. They will do lots of damage for even for this gunboat focused build, as they do have a nice range. I think they're 13.5 up on upgraded. Now for the temporal, if you click on Temporal Rift, you have the reward track. Now on the reward track, you have two different types of unlocking rewards, the Saber tokens and the Alliance tokens. Now the Saber tokens, yeah, the little Saber tokens, they get you one of the upgrades. And as you can see, can't get any more Saber tokens with the reward track. And so I just went for one of each. Now, the first one, you can do any of them based on which ship you want to play around with the most. I went with enhanced launch systems because this helps all the ships and not just one ship in specific. Now, modified explosive ammunition. This is if you want to do more fires. And then, so this means that your main batteries and secondary batteries are going to just set things on fire. And then your torpedoes and your missiles do extra damage, but your main batteries aren't going to do so much damage. So this basically changes how you play. The modified ammunition activation system. Damage to enemy citadel with AP and SAP shells. Missile hit damage is increased. However, the target acquisition radius has drastically reduced, so you need to be very accurate with your missiles in order to get hits. So this is not something to use with the battleship. This is something to probably use with Shinsei. Be- and then you have enhanced ammunition reloading system, which is also good with Shinsei, and I'll talk about that in a bit. For the second one, defense, you have reinforced hull for more HP. Um, that's just okay in my opinion. Enhanced engine power for more speed. Generally, I mean, the cruiser, Kronos carrier, sometimes I do find myself lagging for speed, and same for Valkyrie. Sometimes I find myself going too fast and getting to battle too quickly. So that depends. Modified propulsion system, I would say a hard no on this one because this reduces your number of consumables. Yes, your action time is longer, but you're down to one of each consumable, and I use lots of consumables when playing, so I say this is a hard no. So this is why I go with survivability system, which means you have two extra consumables, you have passive repair, and your consumables don't last as long, but it's fine. I rather have more of them rather than um, caring about how long they last, because normally the shorter time duration, especially for the uh, minus 90% damage against missiles, it's nice to have multiple of those because that really increases your survivability. Lastly, I went with radar absorbing coating because everybody can be stealthier, it doesn't matter. Um, Increased steering gear power depends on the ship, if you're going to use that, but everything can use the radar absorbing. The adrenaline rush, the incoming damage plus 25% is just absolute, makes this absolutely trash. don't do that because you already take so much damage. It's not worth it to have even more damage. Then you have the torpedo and interval from missiles, but you have damage taken from missiles. So this one I could see possibly on the second cruiser, but all the others I would say no, no, because you just take so much damage. So on to the others. So Shinsei, we'll go with Shinsei first because I did say that I think Valkyrie and Shinsei should have been swapped. And so here she is. She is Yoshino. Her missiles, they have a nice 25-kilometer range. Not as long as the 30-kilometer range that Valkyrie has base. She has torpedoes with only 14-kilometer range. Maximum damage is 1600 per, but they are the quads that you find on Yoshino. Um, and then she is a secondary because she has a maximum range on her secondaries of 14 kilometers. So she goes speeds in and using her secondaries. The reload time is 6 seconds, which honestly, it's pretty bad, especially 400 millimeters. But it's not like armor really matters in this game. You're going to do lots of pens anyways. The terrible part is her main gun, 40 seconds on the reload, and so that is why I say if you want to focus more on missiles and doing fire, this is something to do because with a 40-second reload, you're going to have to be careful about what you shoot. You go in, you're a bit tanky, you're fast, and you have good secondaries, but uh, she even gets an engine boost. But with only 8 missiles, they don't replenish, slow reloading. This feels like something you would have had on the first line to grind through in order to get to a better ship. Because Valkyrie is very nice. I don't have any complaints about it. Spectre. Spectre is Harbin. Here she is. She is based off the Harbin hull or the Darlana, the tier 9, either the tier 8 or the tier 9. I believe the tier 9 is premium. It's a Harbin anyways. So special things about her is she has 16 missiles stock, and she can reload every time you destroy a ship. You get 2 more missiles. So this is why, and one where I can see going for something that increases missile damage and lets you fire more missiles faster would be possible. But definitely the missile damage against burning targets would be nice since they have a chance to set things on fire. So that is her. Now for Stallone. Stallone, she uh, is the Deloni. Deloni. Basically, a Russian. She is a Russian gunboat. She loses one set of torp tubes for missile launchers, so you only get a single rack of torp tubes. However, this is the only one that is a very main gun focused ship. You see, the reload time is 1.2 seconds. Maximum damage is only 1,000, but it's 1.2 seconds. Uh, it's a main gun focused ship, especially with her way of getting missiles is you hit things with the main gun. Now, as you see, it's 0.625% per shell hit, but that actually ends up pretty quickly. I usually use this 2-3 times at least per match. So it's mostly because the action time is 60 seconds, and so you can't use it, and then you actually have some downtime in between ships that you can't shoot at, since the main gun battery range is only 10 kilometers. So she has missiles. I have the extended range for the missiles, so that you have 23 kilometers of range to shoot at stuff. Torpedoes get you 12.5 kilometers, so you have a little bit of range of hitting things when you're not able to shoot. And then you have your guns to just DACA things to death. And I would say do use your torpedoes. They are 17k damage. They can kill stuff. Sometimes you need to kill stuff fast. And in fact, of all the ships, I say if you are going solo, I say this one is the best because this one lets you get more secondaries. It lets you get in there faster and guarantee caps faster than any other ship, especially since you have smoke and radar. So the smoke, it is the smoke, it's exhaust smoke, but it has the same mechanics as the new American line where it's toggle on and off, and you have 2 minutes of that. And the the smoke generator doesn't do any effect to that. This because yes, no action time doesn't really matter for that. It's not affected by action time. And then radar, it's a short it's a shorter radar, but we have four of them. It's a 9.2 kilometer radar. It is nice for detecting things when in smoke, killing a destroyer or two when you need to kill those destroyers that you don't want to be shot at, or finding anything while being in smoke and not being shot at. So that is Stallone. Um, Personally, the one I've been running the most just because it's almost guaranteed to win. So with that, if you like this video, if you thought this was informative, if this helps you choose your ship, please give it a thumbs up, share it around. Otherwise, I hope to see you again with our next video of the gameplay for this mode.